Let's go. Yeah, man. Welcome back to the Jahmad Show, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to another great episode. Of course, it's your boy in the flesh. Y'all know how we do. Before we get started, y'all know what I like to do. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. I got a good one for us today. Something that I've talked about in our shows before. I've talked about this, but I want to elaborate, and I want to use an example. And it's going to be a really, really good one, so you are in store for a great show today. But before we dive into it, make sure you please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Trust me, it helps the channel grow, which we've been growing, man. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. The people that have been subscribing. I think this is a great show. I've seen a lot of other shows out there. I feel like there's a little bit of nostalgia here, right? Like the old school with the music and live, and it's something about it. Something about live. You know what I mean? So if you like this type of content and you walking away, hopefully, with at least a topic of discussion. Maybe you learned something. Maybe you disagree. Either way, hopefully it was entertaining enough to spark interest some kind of way, and that's me doing my job. And the fact that you here being either inspired or at least disagreeable is enough for me, and I appreciate your time. I really, really do. So if you want to help the channel grow, like I said, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. It goes a long way, and it's free. It costs you absolutely nothing. Also, if you're a social media advocate, you like IG, make sure you go ahead and follow the IG. I post the clips there. Much easier to promote and share if you want to do it that way. You know. And shout out to PLP. You see the big PLP we got on today. The big PLP apparel. Got to give a shout out to the PLP apparel. Right there. PLPapparel.net. This is custom designed by your boy. It stands for promote love and positivity. That's what we about, and it's dope. I mean, come on. 2 different colors. You know what I mean? Fire. You got the 2 different colors here. And it come with a whole pan set as well. It's that bone against that navy blue and maroon. Something about it with the black accents. You know. It's just dope. But if you want to support the channel, that's a really, really good way to do so. Let's go ahead and get all the promo out the way. We'll do this again at the end of the show anyways. And of course, if you want to support the channel in a different way, you can also support it through thejahmadshow.com. Pick you up some nice merch. Mugs, hats, jackets, hoodies, the whole nine. Obviously, that helps go a long way if you want to actually support it in that way. Or simply put, just like the video or subscribe. Does the same. Helps me get to the goal, which is 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. And we on track to get that well before the end of the year. We keep putting videos out like this. So, without further ado, man, we're going to jump right into it. The discussion today's topic is women do not see you. They don't notice you. If you clicked on the thumbnail, you already know what this is about a little bit. But I'm going to dive into a much broader aspect of it because this is a real topic, man. This is a real topic. This can be extrapolated in a lot of different ways. So we're going to dive into that. Before we do, because I got a great clip for y'all today that we're going to dissect, let me have a sip of my mushroom coffee. I'm piping hot. Hopefully we get a sponsorship here soon. But we got to run them numbers up first. Anyways, without further ado, man, we're going to jump right into it. I got the good brother, 19 Keys, on the show again. And this time he's discussing exactly what we're talking about, average men. I don't want y'all to pay attention to how he's addressing this particular issue. And then we're going to also talk about the host of the show, Joy Taylor.
And I can tell you that the average man, let's say this, just the average man who wants to live and be respected and loved in society, nobody speaks upon the average man as if he's special at all. You understand me? He has to have all of these accreditations, right? He has to make all this money. He has to be a certain height. He has to be a certain type. He has to have all of these things just to be considered in conversation, right? And so it makes him feel invisible.
Which is very, very true. A lot of women will look at a man, if they even notice him, first of all. They'll look at the man that they actually are attracted to, right? And then they'll say, all men ain't shit. No, all the men you deal with ain't shit. And all the men that you go for are a specific type of man. The men that would actually treat you probably the way you will want to be treated, you don't notice.
Right? And then when he goes to places, he's not treated, just with common decency a lot of times, right? A lot of times he gets blamed for the whole patriarch when he's just trying to get him a donut or something coming into the store. It's like, damn. So I think that amongst that on social media has him comparing himself to unreal expectations.
100%. And a lot of men get depressed because they feel like, he just said it, a lot of men get depressed because they feel like they can't compete. So they bow the fuck out completely. They say, well, this is too much for me, dog. I didn't know I was signing up for this. I thought I was going to win coming into this. I thought this was I thought if I was a good man and I was nice and I was caring and I was thoughtful and I was a provider, and which is all the things that women say. And Dr. Orion Tarabin actually said this. Yeah, that's all the things that they say, but they want all of those things from a man that they're already attracted to.
Right. Right. Mentally, financially, and physically. Right. So I think that men are disconnected from themselves. Right, because Hollywood and social media has curated all these ideas of what it means to be a man, right? So a man doesn't even know if he is anymore. Because was it being a man when Hollywood gave me a version of the gangster or the pimp, right? Or, James Bond, right, to certain people. It was all these ideas. If I'm not a drinker or a smoker or if I'm not a tough guy, it was never like position manhood is like you can be an average intellectual man and you're masculine, and that's enough of being yourself.
Right. Don't ever buy that BS. Be yourself. No. I put another video out with Dan Balzerian talking about the same thing. Being yourself, it doesn't work. Yes, you want to be yourself, but you need to be the best version of yourself, and you need to have something that women find attractive. Otherwise, you will go unnoticed, my boy. It is what it is.
So I think the loneliness epidemic is real, and that's the most vulnerable population.
So I think there's a lot of layers to it. I think when it's the reason I do the epidemic thing is
because you mean to men.
I am mean to men.
I seen that clip. Don't be mean to men.
I'm really proud of being mean to men, actually.
That's crazy.
I'm not mean to you.
I know, but that's an outlier. You understand me? I don't exist. I'm not a statistic. I'm an anomaly.
Yes, of course.
That's why I say that I champion the average man, because those are the ones who need it. You feel me? I've always had certain privileges in life, right? Just because of the way that I see myself, the way that I think, my ability to communicate, my level of attractiveness, whatever it may be, I feel like I've always had privileges. So I speak outside of myself.
All right. We're gonna leave it right there for a second. We're gonna bring it back podcast mode. Listen, he just said, I don't know if y'all noticed it, but when she said, I'm not mean to you, immediately she got giddy. She got giddy. I'm not mean to you, 19 Keys. I bet you not. And the reason why I want to point this clip out is for a certain reason. When you look at the grand scheme of not only what they're discussing, but literally, he just told you that I'm not an average man, and I think it's very, very obvious. Obviously, what they call pre-selection. Women have already given 19 Keys and men alike the credibility that this is a high value or a highly sought after, very attractive, very desirable man. You see how she's sitting there all attentive, even though this is her show. And then immediately she was like, yeah, I am mean to me. I'm not mean to you. I love it. Of course she not. He's like, I know. By the way, that's a dope show. The link is in the description. They was going back and forth the entire show. My whole point of bringing that up is this. At the end of the day, if you don't work on yourself, bro, if you don't prioritize you being the best version. I've seen a clip earlier, and I was about to go in on him, but I actually kind of agree with the dude. Yada Awakening was having a discussion about a year or so ago with this guy who apparently was really trying to advocate for men going 50-50, and he was making $14 an hour, and he was trying to say it's hard out here and all this, that, and the third. What you got to realize is, bro, and he had a woman from what he's saying, but at the end of the day, if you're not the best version of yourself, then I do think that you should take the time out to actually go work on yourself. Or if you're dating, then you're gonna reap the benefits or consequences or whatever. You're gonna reap what you sow. If you're not in the very best position, so meaning you're not gonna have the optionality that a man would have in this example, like 19 Keys will have, where he's sitting across from Joy Taylor, who's considered a very attractive woman to a lot of men, who she's over there giddy, laughing and all that. Yeah, for sure. Obviously, it's very obvious. She ain't got to say it. Everybody can see it. She obviously thinks 19 Keys is a very attractive man. You see what I'm saying? So, and look how she's reacting to him. He literally is I love that clip specifically because on one end, you see the dynamic of him being a very intellectual man. It's also in a sense when she's asking questions, even though this is her show, he's teaching in the same respect, right? So he's teaching not only her, but to the masses. Attractive quality, right? Well-dressed guy. On top of that, got her over there giddy. In the midst of talking about average men. And what he's saying is very, very true. So it's like he's literally living in this space where it's like, look, this is what not being average can get you. Status on a platform with a highly sought after woman, and I got her giddy. I don't know if you already heard, I've mentioned him before. I might bring up a clip on him, but the guy King 68, he been doing a lot of, his platform been blowing up. Same thing. He show up, he don't do much. He just, he do him, and women just, they everything is cool. Everything's a go. You would rather want to be the exception to the rule than to fall into rules. Women don't really apply rules to certain men. Like, certain things only apply to certain men. Like, when you hear all these guys saying you should do this and you should do this, that applies, unfortunately, to majority of the men. But when you want to try to put yourself in the outlier situation, like the guy was saying, I'm an outlier to this. I don't necessarily fall into this category because of status, because of who I am, from a physique, from a sight, from a level of attractiveness, all that. Mindset. That world that a lot of men seem to be in doesn't apply to certain men. And it's hard for when you have a man like himself or myself in a situation to where you trying to give this game, and on the other end, on the other spectrum, it's hard for another man to really see it because you're like, bro, it's tough out here. I ain't got the type of money you got. I don't look the way you look. I have never experienced what you saying. I ain't never experienced that. That don't even seem real to me. And I'm glad that social media is a thing, because now you guys are starting to see, like, bro, for some men, it's so effortless. And so don't buy. That's why I keep trying to tell men, stop buying into what the women are telling you, that what they want, because they're not telling you the full truth. They want those things from a man that they're already attracted to. The other side of that is that man that she's attracted to probably is not going to give her those things. And he doesn't have to get what he wants. He's an exception. You want to try your very, very best to be the exception to the rule. And how do you do that? Well, Rakif, how do I do that? You keep telling me what I should be doing, but how do I get there? Once again, this is your first time here. Welcome, because you're about to get a mouthful of game. First thing, bro, educate yourself. You see how he was up there and able to talk? Like, he was able to just spew out information. Like, she was sitting there listening. Like, she forgot she was on her show. Go watch the show. Trust me, you're going to see it throughout almost every question that she asked him. He break out and he started explaining things. And then it's almost like she started getting giggly and all this. And so it's like the blueprint right there. You see it firsthand, what it's like when you're in that situation. Or listen, man, I wasn't blessed as a looker. Well, shit, hit the gym. That's enough of a attractive. Make sure you smell good. Make sure you know something. See, because all those things are going to exude. I'm not saying use that and then walk up to some woman that you think you won't. 'Cause I just talked about that yesterday. That ain't how that work either. Stop trying to shoot your shot and attract these women to you. Pull these women to you. That starts with working on your mind, because now when you walk into a room, you can intelligently have conversations about multiple topics and feel comfortable talking about that. My cousin was telling me about some young dude went up to him, he saw him interacting with a woman, and he was like, bro, how did you do that? How'd you do that? The first thing that came to my mind was, bro need to invest in here. He haven't invested enough into himself to know that, bro, if I'm just going to be me, then I don't necessarily need to sell myself. I just got to walk into the room, be me, speak my mind. And as soon as we start having a conversation, I can immediately jump into, well, hold on, I'm gonna tell you why that's not true, or I'm gonna tell you, or I can be able to elaborate on that intelligently, confidently. It happens to me all the time. When I started talking with a woman and she started telling me, I ask her a question, she tell me what she think, I know she probably ain't did the research. Most cases, not all the time, but most cases she probably did the research. She's just going off her own understanding and her own experiences with men. And then here I come, elaborating upon what the information that I know. And then backing it up with facts and references from books or articles or whatever. I say that to say, well, why should I do that? Because that's a level of attractiveness. That's very attractive to a woman. When a man seems like he knows, number one, who the hell he is, he knows information, he can teach, that means he's suitable to lead. I can follow him. He knows something. He's smart. That's one level. Then you take care of your appearance as much as you can. You're well groomed. You brush your teeth. You ain't got no hygiene issues. You know what I'm saying? You take care of your body. That's another layer. Okay, he's intelligent. He smells good. He's fashionable. He can dress well. He can put on something and look nice. Like he ain't trying too hard. It's kind of effortless. Like how subtle yet good it look. He ain't trying to do too much. He just doing enough, and then enough is everything. I had a woman tell me that one time. Literally walked up to me. I was sitting there at one of my little spots I used to go to downtown. Real dope spot. It's a sports bar, and I'm sitting outside. They got a little patio area. I'm sitting outside, and this woman comes over to me, and she says, hello. And I didn't even see who she was. I said, hey, how you doing? I looked at her. She said, I just want to let you know you are everything. I said, well, I appreciate that. She's like, yeah, I just wanted to tell you. I said, look, that made my day. She said, it did? I said, I'm glad I could do that. I said, yeah, I'm feeding into it. You know, I'm like, yeah, of course. I appreciate that. You have a good day. You too. She's like, I ain't trying to holler. I ain't trying to come on to you, whatever. I just want to let you know. I said, I appreciate that. So she went back to her table. 5 minutes later, the server come up. He said, hey, bro, those ladies over there want to buy you a drink. I said, huh? Yeah, they want to buy you a drink. Now, I tell y'all that to say, bro, I went out there to mind my business. It was dead in there. Like, literally, it was me, those women over there, and maybe somebody else. Like, this big-ass restaurant, it wasn't nobody in there. And I'm sitting way outside. They way across the restaurant, but they peep game. They ain't know me from a can of paint. She got up, walked over, introduced herself, said, I'm not trying to come on to you. I just want to let you know that you are everything. Went back, because I handled the situation, so I appreciate that. I needed that, and then sent me a drink. Now, I don't know how many other men have experienced that. Probably not a lot. Most men are probably looking at me like, bro, that's straight bullshit. But I just gave you details. So when I'm sitting here giving you game from this perspective, that's what I mean. That's what I mean by attracting a woman to you. I didn't have to go out there and be somebody I wasn't. I just was being me. My intention wasn't even to go out there and get women. I just wanted to go out and have a drink and enjoy the beautiful California sunny weather. Sit out on the patio, have a drink or two. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I just went out there to be me. By myself. My head wasn't on swivel. I saw them, but I ain't see them. You know what I'm saying? They just in here eating. That's how I look at everything. And that's happened to me so many times. It's too many times to count. And so I'm trying to teach y'all, man, that's what you want to be. Whether that be, and I'll say it again, focusing on, and I think you should really do all of them, focusing on your mental, doing research, and whatever it is that you're interested in so you can become an expert. And if you're really struggling with women, I suggest you do research on women. I suggest you start to open up and read these books. Some of these books that I've been referencing, the value of others, why women have sex, how to know a person, the way of the superior man. These are all different references of things you should learn. So when you come out into society, you have a leg to stand on and you're not guessing. You take out the guesswork when it comes to your interaction. Then you focus on your financial situation. Go out there and figure out what it is that you need to focus on to gain more money. Put in the work. All this shit gonna take time. That's what I'm saying. It's not gonna be like, okay, I took a weekend, I took a whole week, and I did. No. We talk about years, brother. We talk about dedicating your life years to be able to be in that situation. And just a side note for the women that's listening as well, that is what it takes for a man to truly garnish a woman that he wants attention. It takes years, ladies. I hope y'all really, really appreciate the type of work that men are putting in just to be in the conversation with you. You heard what 19 Keys said earlier? Just to be considered an option, men will take years of their life and devote all this time to become a man that's considered worthy enough to be able to like have a woman in his life, a woman that's worth it. Not just any damn woman. You don't want a woman for the street. Don't ever do that. Don't ever dedicate that much time at all if you going for a woman that's for the streets. But you know what I'm saying? A woman that's worth having. Yeah, this is what it takes, but it pays off. Put the time in, dog. I wasn't always here. I mean, I always got women. I was always cute, fairly attractive. I didn't realize what I realized, and I also didn't have shit when I was young. I was broke. I was naive, all that. Now I'm understanding. I'm in a different situation, and I see it. Like I got it back then, but I'm like, man, what if I knew what you know what I'm saying? What if I knew then what I know now? So if you're in a position right now, man, where you really, really trying to be the best version of yourself and you want to win, you want to succeed in life, you want to be the outlier amongst other men, do the things that I'm telling you, bro. Work on your mental, work on your intelligence, educate yourself in something. Whatever you're into, educate yourself into something. Focus on your craft, so when guys be saying that shit, like, hey, bro, stop focusing on women. You need to focus on this. What they mean by that is, in order to attract the women you want, not go chase them, when you do what you're supposed to do, the women gonna automatically come. The money gonna automatically come. They start to come out the fucking woodworks. That's how it works. When you go out here and you dedicate yourself every day, bro. Take me for example. Y'all go do the research, man. I've been taking like 2 weeks, a month at a time, hiatus when it comes to this podcast. It's because I've been out there living life, full transparency. And I told myself I need to get on it. The last 4 or 5 days, I've been pumping out content every day. Everything has been growing. My views, my subscribers, my followers, all that, just because the last couple of days of the consistency, as well as phone been blowing up. Naturally, I ain't been hitting no women up. They've been coming out the woodworks. Why is that? I just talked about a couple shows ago about frequency. When you living in a certain space, you living in a certain frequency, it's starting to attract things to you because you are living in this area where the world is like, oh, gotcha. It throw it at you. It's the same with women, dog. You want a certain plane, they can, if they're on the same frequency, they can sense it. It's way deeper than what we want to give it credit for, bro. It is truly, truly about what you attract. And in order to attract the type of woman you feel like you deserve, you need to become the type of man that woman wants. It's as simple as that. Listen, man, we're going to continue with these videos and breaking down, not just taking Rakif's word for it. Damn. Not just taking Rakif's word for it, but actually diving into other people's research, other people's podcasts, to where you see it time and time again from all different walks of life, from clinical studies to brothers like 19 Keys, to maybe just some BS that we might find and say, hey, bro, this is an exact example of what you shouldn't be. We're going to talk about it. Y'all been showing a lot of love on some of the other videos I've been doing, so I much appreciate it. So it's only my duty here to give it and pay it forward and give you more of what you want. And that's what we're doing, man. So, like, once again, I'm new to this. If anybody's in here, let me check the chat. I don't even know. Okay, ain't nobody in here yet. So we still building. We still building. A lot of people have been going back and watching the rebroadcast of this because I go live spontaneously. So if you're watching the rebroadcast of this, still leave the comments, show love. If you go follow me on Instagram, which I'll put it up real quick, tell me where you came from. Tell me that you came from YouTube, and leave your handle so I know who you are, and I'll give you a follow back. We would definitely do that. And of course, man, like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. This helps it grow. Y'all been doing a really dope job at that lately in the last couple of days. And, you know, it's just a testament, man, that once you put the work in, people recognize, and y'all definitely been showing love. So I really appreciate that. And we're going to continue to pump it out. It's addicting to this point. So thank you for all the love y'all been showing. Subscribing to the channel, liking it, sharing it, commenting, all that. I really appreciate it. And so, like I said, it's my duty to continue to give that game back to you. You understand? So without further ado, man, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. But listen, go shout out to PLP, dog. Before we get the hell out of here, pick you up something nice. You seen how raw this hoodie was the whole episode? You seen it? You seen how raw it was? Oh yeah, I forgot. And they got the PLP on the hoodie. And they got the PLP going across the hoodie, dog. Come on, man. I ain't slacking now. And they got the PLP on the back. Oh, no, this one got PLP on the back. One of them got a PLP on the back. Yeah, this got a PLP on the hood. Listen, I'm not slacking, dog. Shout out to PLP, man. Promote love and positivity. Show love and wear love. You understand? Also, if you want to support the show, go to thejahmadshow.com. Almost ate my tongue when I said that. Go to thejahmadshow.com. Pick you up something nice, man. Another way to support the show. And it's just a beautiful thing, man. If you want to help support this dream, help support this goal, help support this journey, you can do so at thejahmadshow.com. Also, that's where the podcasts are at. If you want to go to a central location, you can also get the plpapparel.net from there. If you go to the shop tab, you'll see PLP Apparel. Click that. It'll take you to the link there. Also, that's a way to connect with me. If you want to go to the contact tab, you just type in, hey, Rakif, man, I like your setup. I want to know about what kind of lights you use, or what kind of mic you use, or what program you use. I can help you set up your podcast. Or if you just want a consultation, man, maybe you got a question about maybe something that you're going through and you want some advice on, or you want me to talk about on the show. Like, hey, man, I've been going through this and I need somebody to talk about this. And I feel like you in this lane. I'm willing to help. I'm here to do all that, man. Just go to thejahmadshow.com, go to the contact tab, type in your message. It'll come directly to me. And I promise you, I will bring it up on the show. We can discuss it. You can remain anonymous, whatever, but it'll be something that I can address, or even if it's just something personal you want to holler at me at. Or maybe you want to come on the show. Maybe it's something that you want to just do a collab on. Say, hey, bro, I seen what you got going on. I got this. Maybe we collab. Or you can hit me directly at collab@thejahmadshow.com. Once again, that's collab@thejahmadshow.com. I think I got it all out. It's a lot to promote, man. Once again, I'm a one-man band, but I really appreciate every last one of y'all. Outstanding people, man. Thank y'all for doing everything and being everything, and I really appreciate y'all. So anyways, with that being said, man, y'all know the deal. Stay blessed, and until next time, love. Peace.